Good evening, everyone. I'm just doing a quick video tonight just to kind of, I guess, catch up. I've been off the scene for a little while. I think the last time I made a video was sometime at work last week, but I was good. And I made a couple of other videos over the weekend, but I didn't, I just didn't post them. And then I didn't have time to sort of watch them. And you know how you just kind of feel like your thoughts aren't together. So I just was like, I'm going to delete it. So, anyways, I just had some weird things going on, more synchronicities, but just things that, like when you come out of the matrix and you don't accept the programming most of the time, which you still never really know if you're not accepting programming because there's always a new program to update. So, but you just start to see things from behind the scenes instead of just head on. And so I'm noticing that, like, where I live sits on the 33rd parallel. And we're off the coast of Atlantis. And these places are growing expeditiously. These places that are just off the coast of Atlantis. These places are being gentrified. Even Atlanta, which is very disturbing because I lived in Atlanta for 13 years and I really thought that not just the black community but all communities had a footing in the wealth that was there to gain in Atlanta because it is a very easy place to network. If you want to start a business, somebody's going to support you. Somebody's going to give you a party. They're just like that in Atlanta because there's enough meat on the, there's enough fruit in the pie for everybody to get some. And so people are just but they're, whenever, and I hate to say this because it just sounds awful, but I don't want to think that was the reason. But when I'll just say when the population began to grow, people were trying to come and get some of that, that good living and easy living and easy money. And so it just got out of control, I think. But at any rate, I noticed that where I live, we keep winning all these best places to live in the world, best places to go and visit in the world. I mean, like number one over like Paris. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like number one over Paris, really? Charleston? So I'm just like, okay. But then I started thinking because, when you're out of the matrix, you tend to think critically. We are in the middle of a pole shift. Like the earth is readjusting its magnetic field. Like the weather is showing you, apart from what they're manipulating, but there's something going on the earth that is, the earth is tired. It's tired of being abused. And so we're in the midst of that. People are having problems with their electronics, TVs are blowing out. Just the weird things are going on. But what are they doing? Why are they trying to get people to move here? We have 70 families moving here a day. And in Atlanta, it's like the same thing. And we're on the 33rd parallel. Like, what's going on? Like, what is going on? It's a lot of people having, like, mental lapses and going missing. And people that have true mental illness are suffering. They are losing it during this time frame because there's so many things in the food and in the air and in the electronics and people with mental illness are really, really suffering. And I work in the healthcare field. I see it every single day, and they're being They can be really like bad off and, get lost somewhere, end up going to jail, and like they'll take them into the mental hospital for a couple of days and then let them go home. And these people are like still delusional. They're talking like crazy talk. And they're just like, oh, well, yeah, it's nothing we can do. If she don't want to be here, we're going to let her go. Like, I know people personally that are going through this with their loved ones. And it's getting worse. Like, people are really, like, catching hell right now. And all we can do is fuss and fight over race, fuss and fight over who's better, who's dying out. There's been a lot of horrible things that the white race has done to black people, to Indian people, to a lot of people. But their strategy was divide and conquer. That's it. By all means necessary, divide and conquer. And we accepted that and we allowed them to keep doing that. And they now are, a lot of them don't, they see what it is and they don't want any parts of it, and they're called sellouts and losers. And then there are people that are considered racist if they say anything like this, like it's so stupid. It's so stupid. I think that races should procreate with their same race to keep their bloodline strong. That's what keeps us healthy. When you start mixing, you start getting hybrids, and they could go either way. They could be really, really strong because they have both races, or they could be really weak and it could really kill them because it's like mixing two different species. It's not even about race. It's about species. We're all different, and there's nothing wrong with that. If it wasn't supposed to be like this, then we wouldn't have been seated on this planet. Hello. Nobody has to be better. Who cares about being better? Like, we are who we are. I mean, let's keep it all the way real. Everybody knows that all races are different. Everybody talks about how races are different. It's not a big deal. Why do we have to make it a big deal that we're different? It's okay. Why can't people be fucking different? Like, I hate when people say, oh, I don't see color. Well, I do. Your eyes are blue, mine are brown. I see color. It's okay. We don't have to discuss race every time we have a conversation. If I'm talking to you about a